Well, this is probably a good time to show once and for all why the sun is not circling round above a circle disk model, as too many still believe, but in fact it's travelling straight across the face of the Earth. Now, this orange object you see here in the middle rotating is a camera, and what we've done is we've got it to track a circling sun above the Gleason's disk. We've actually set the sun to circle right round the Tropic of Cancer. So it's June the 21st. It's the northern summer, and we can compare what we see here with what we see in the videos. So if we pull the window over to the left, and we can see what the camera sees, which is, as you probably expect, a perfectly level circling sun. Absolutely nothing like the Arctic Midnight Sun videos. Nothing like them at all. I mean, they're going off the screen. The sun goes off the screen right to the rise and then right off the screen. But you might say, well, the videos aren't taken at the North Pole, so if you look over on the right again, we'll move the camera down to the Arctic Circle, 66 degrees north. It's the dotted line here. So look over on the left. Okay, yeah, we're getting a little bit of undulation now, a little bit of rise and fall. But ask yourself, is that anything like what's happening in the Arctic Midnight Sun videos? Where it goes, like I say, from the horizon to right off the screen. The sun goes right off the screen. It's different. I mean, there's nothing like it. There's no match here at all. This is how they say the sun behaves in this model, but what we're seeing is not a match to reality. There's no match at all. I mean, we can move the camera right down to London, and see, are we getting 60 degrees elevation? Is that camera going? Is the camera seeing the sun go 60 degrees? Arc into the sky? No, it's not even going 15 degrees. It's not even modelling what happens in the winter. I mean, it's just not a match at all. It clearly shows that the circling model is incorrect. And if we compare it here with a straight travelling sun, same setup. We've got the camera in the middle, tracking the sun as it's crossing the Earth. We set it up obviously above the equator, so it's the equinoxes, but we can see the sun is travelling absolutely straight east to west. We can see what the camera sees again with the left window, and we see it rises in the east, goes right over our heads, and sets in the west. And this is what we see from our perspective. This is what we always see. We see the sun rise and arc over, even though the sun's travelling straight from our perspective. It's rising and falling. It arcs over us, and this is true. Whether you put the camera at the equator or north back in London. The sun will arc lower, as we know. The further away you are from it, it's going to arc lower in the sky. So its zenith is lower, but it's still doing the same pattern, even though it's actually travelling straight. It appears to us from our position as if it's arcing over us. And this is how the sun works on a flat Earth. It's a far better model than the circle model, which doesn't match reality at all. You can't model it at all. You'd be getting retrograde motion of the sun there in places as well. Now, refraction does play a huge role in how day and night are actually created. Refraction through the firmament and through the atmosphere. Because as we know, you can't triangulate the sun between the solstices, between winter and summer. It's too much. It's much lower in the sky, and the tropics are only 3,200 miles apart. So if you do calculation, they're completely off. So we know the further away the sun is from you, the exponentially lower it is in the sky. And this works on a daily basis just the same as it does on a yearly seasonal basis. It's what creates sunrises and sunsets. Obviously, as the sun moves further away from us, exponentially it moves lower and lower in the sky to the point that it disappears and gives night. This is how the whole thing's been designed. And to say the sun isn't refracting is completely disingenuous. We know it is. We see it. We see it happening. We even see the sun getting smaller and smaller in places as well as it's disappearing, as it's passing by. But the straight travelling sun explains what we observe on the ground far better than a circling sun. Far better. And obviously with the Earth being a fixed plane, which we know it is, the ground under your feet does not move. So you can see, it arcs over. It arcs over our heads. The sun travels completely straight, but from our position on the ground, it arcs over us And every single person on Earth observes the sun doing this. Obviously, it arcs higher in the summer, lower in the winter. And we know that the angles are, like I say, the further away the sun is, the lower it will appear in the sky. And I hope to model it with, with refraction through a firmament in future videos.